रञ्जन नै आएछ
अनि त्यो सबले जान्छ कल अनि त्यो ओके shall we start
बिजी आएछ नि सर बिजी के भयो
अझै धेरै आएको छैन फेरि के भयो 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 भइसक्यो को बाँकी भयो बिजी रिमेनिङ
बिजी सर बिजी गायब भइदिएर
ओके भएन
भयो सर
Okay, so good morning, everyone.
गुड मर्निङ सर
Good morning.
Good morning,
So this is our, because of the epidome, we are conducting this virtual session, virtual debate, I must say. So can you all mute yourself first?
Good morning, everyone.
So,
I'm Regis Adhikari.
Okay, Regis.
Yes, sir.
First mute yourself, sorry. Mute yourself, everybody. Okay, so this is our third debate of BUS 3002. I request you all to mute YouTube mute, and if there is anything and you want to take part in debate, you unmute yourself and speak. Okay. So I think we will start with our introduction first. Those who are here, I think, except Nirjal. Let's see if he can join later or not. Can you introduce yourself? First, we start with BJ. Can you give your UNID?
Hello,
BJ.
everyone.
Others, Simran, please. Okay. So BJ.
My name
okay,
is
continue.
BJ, and my university ID is 184084443. Thank you.
I'm Simran, and my UNID is 18417141.
Jessina.
My UNID is 18406524.
Nima.
My name is Nima, and my UNID is 18406525.
Rajesh.
I am
Your
Regis
UNID?
Adhikari. I am Regis Adhikari, and my UNID is 1840658.
You can just say your UNID. Ali Salama.
My name
Ali Salama.
my UNID is 18146522.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Asim.
My UNID is 18406523.
Okay, we can start the debate.
So today we'll be talking the topic of our debate is boosting competitiveness through innovation and adoption of new technologies, where we will be comparing to various cross-sector comparison. And so by starting, let's go through the basic notion of innovation and competitiveness. So starting with it, innovation can also be explained as an idea, product, device, or novelty, as said by Costello in 2013. It is a mindset, a way of thinking beyond the present and into the future. Innovation is important for companies when we used well it in a process, strategy, and management technique, as said by Kuczmarski. As Porter also previously mentioned that the companies or like the countries which are more innovative enjoy the most level of economic development as well. So we can know that the innovation is vital part of the economy as well as for the companies to survive in it, as said by Bascom and Porter.
I'd also like to give a definition of competitiveness and innovation. The World Economic Forum 2013 defines competitiveness as the set of institutions, policies, and factors that determine the level of productivity of a country, and also all generally use the word
Sorry,
productivity
sorry,
for competitiveness.
sorry. Excuse me. Who is
हजुर.
speaking? Simran or Nima?
Nima, sir. Nima.
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 Simran, why is your microphone? Please mute your microphone. Those who are not talking. So only the person who is speaking should be unmuted. Okay, Nima, you can continue.
And also, innovation is considered as one of the most foremost factor that plays a vital role in the success of any organization, and also one of the most complex issues that the organization faces today. So likewise, Evans 1991 defined innovation as the ability to ascertain new relationships of seeing things from a new point of view and to form new combinations from existing concepts.
I would like, I'm Alisha Lama, and I would like to talk about the innovation as well. Sir, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Sir,
भन्नु
can
न
you, sir, sir खै त? Sir छैन त?
अर्को म्युट
Uh,
भइरहेछ
I'm here. I'm here. Bhana ke bhayo?
yes, sir. Yeah.
Continue.
Innovation and new technologies have become one of the most important factors in today's world. And since the world is becoming excessively competitive, business households are keeping up with new technology and innovation daily to maintain their position in a market. However, many people are confused between creativity and innovation, as we know that innovation is a different way of doing something which no one has ever done or attempted before. Similarly, innovation is only created after the implementation of the creative idea. So, creative ideas generally include information is inspiration and critical thinking. This is said by the Vera Raghavan in 2009. So similarly, I would like to talk about the another person. His name is Ruos. He have talked about the innovation as well. Business executive coming out with innovation and technology strategies. Innovation and technology strategies is a distinct way of generating productive and agile competitiveness in a market. So, innovation in the organization and new technology in the organization is the great way of being productive and being a bringing competitiveness in the market. This competitiveness can create a unique and distinct market for themselves, which they can take advantage of it. So, through the innovation and technology, if the company know their competence, then they can take advantage from them and they can make a unique market for them.
I'd like to add something from a website, Advanced Innovation Consulting. Uh, Innovation is a result That should not happen by chance. Innovation should lead companies to achieve their objectives and goals. Strategic innovation corresponds to the implementation of new solution or improved in organization, product, organizational method of marketing strategy in order to strengthen its competitive position, enhance performance or knowledge of a planned and targeted way to contribution of strategic objective of the organization. So, strategic innovation can be considered as the definition of long-term goals for an organization and selection of set of actions with their allocation of resources in order to increase the likelihood of achieving those objectives.
So
Like I
I would like to say that innovation can, at a fundamental level, be the process of generating and combining ideas to make relationship between present accomplishments and the past experiences to solve the future problem. This often associated with technological feats, and it plays a critical role in the world economy. Innovation is big in the business world, and it is sustainable to create value and be strong in the competitive environment. There is a link between innovation, jobs, profit, and standard of living.
like I'd also like to add on innovation. Innovation is the leading force of competitiveness, of growth, and of the creation of durable values. Although it can be easily included in the product or technology development category, this refers to a fundamental challenge for the entire business and such. It must stand for a continuous process. At the same time, innovation is one of the greatest opportunities for market specialists to leave their mark on the organization to make fundamental activities based on the profound understanding of the opportunities presented by the market and the clients needs to overcome the functional role and to collaborate with all the company's employees so that to be close to the strategic challenges and opportunities with a long lasting effect as said by Fisk in 2008. However, even when innovation is defined properly, many associate it with competitiveness or productivity. For example, Bloomberg includes productivity as one of its seven variables for ranking the 50 most innovative nations. But while innovation is related to productivity, and for that matter, competitiveness, it is not identical. There are many innovations that have little to do with productivity or competitiveness. For example, the innovation of the smart electric grid will help boost electric utility productivity but will do little to boost competitiveness as electric utility services are not typically internationally traded.
So innovation are not like a moonshot that fails to reach the moon, not like a rocket that goes off course, but more often than not to launch with not enough every energy to even clear the launch pad, but innovations that are successfully survive entrepreneurship move on to become the disruptors. Innovation is critical for today's world we live in, and it said that organizations that fails to innovate eventually dies. An innovator invents or adopts new process, product, or organizational measure which improves the quality of an environment, which while society as a whole benefits the innovation, the costs are borne by innovator alone.
Alicia is speaking. So, business innovation matters for one of the simple reason that is for the value, and it is very crucial for organization to innovate and to improve because the organization need to improve and innovate because to boost their innovation. So boosting innovation helps to find opportunity and optimizing existing channel and to generate higher profit for their organization.
The technological advances and new technologies are now accelerating faster than ever before, and the information revolution in computers and
Wait for a minute.
telecommunication.
Okay. Excuse me. Please, Simran, mute yourself if you are not speaking. It's always on. It's always on muted. Simran, you may continue.
Okay. I'd like to say what I said before again. Technological advances and new technologies are now accelerating faster than ever before, and the information revolution in computers and telecommunication technology has had and will continue to have a major impact on many sectors of the industry, like the financial sectors, manufacturing sectors, service sectors, public, and many more. So, I'd like to move on now to the mobile banking sectors, how innovation and adoption of new technologies have like impacted on the mobile and banking sectors. So the development of electronic payment medias can be seen, and electronic payment processes and electronic banking is very popular nowadays, due to which there has been significant shifts of the customers and businesses to electronic payments. I'd like to talk about cardless ATM services. So, according to Nelito 2019, one of the big banking innovation has been cardless ATM services. For the first time in the world, Bank Dhofar in Oman has launched a cardless banking service for ATMs, which allows customers to carry out ATM transactions effortlessly by using just their mobile numbers. Once the customers' numbers are registered and verified, the customers can go to the nearest banks and ATMs and just insert their mobile numbers and PIN number to carry out the transactions.
I agree with what Nima just said. Nowadays, technology innovation is considered one of the most important tools that can affect the economic sector as well as the banking sector. So, Hope and Allah stated that innovation is one of the key profitability drivers of bank, and in the 21st century, it has become increasingly decisive in performance and competitiveness. Chen and Chu also stated revealed that the investment in information technology and information and innovation in the bank had a significant impact on the performance of the banking sector. The researchers showed that investment in internet and mobile banking can increase the bank's performance. Therefore, the use of technology innovation closely related to information and communication is also important factor in creating performance and competitive advantage in the banking sector.
Can I say something? Simran, here, I don't know what is the problem with your microphone. It's always unmuted so that
So, मैले
I
भर्खर
could not get who is speaking. I know, no, I cannot know who is speaking. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
I think
I
Simranले
think
कल
there is a
काटेर
problem with
फेरि
your microphone.
कल एकचोटि फेरि अनम्युटै भइरहेको छैन उसो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई
त्यही
अनम्युट
त्यस्तै भइरहेछ
Unmute
सर हजुरलाई
भइरहेको
चाहिँ
छैन
म्युट
कि there is some
देखाइरहेछ
problem. अहिले अहिले त म म्युट छैन होइन, म बोलिरहेको छु, अगाडि म्युट थिएँ होइन. सो एकचोटि त्यो गरेर मैले आई क्यानट नो के
एकचोटि कल डिस्कनेक्ट गरेर कनेक्ट गर्दा हुन्छ
Hello. So can I speak?
Elsha Didi, please speak.
So I would like to say another point which my friend Nima and Jessina has just said before. So in terms of another thing, so according to the Alexander, he have researched about research. He had made a research on the Romania where he found out the new technology or the new term called the e-tourism. What is the e-tourism means? So e-tourism is one of the it is gradually taking place in today's world, especially in countries like Nepal and in Indonesia and Thailand. So generally talking about the e-tourism is that uh, it established establishes several aspects that which includes information. E-tourism is, mainly includes information, reservation, payment, communication. So as all this can now be done with the help of computer or the smartphone over the internet, but there could be misunderstanding and inaccurate information by this e-tourism. So as an entrepreneur or as a business manager, we have to look upon the both side and make a good strategy for the organization. So SME and large level has opened the online stores where they can book or make reservation for the customers. Thank you.
So similarly, uh, I would like to give an example of Tesla automobiles, which is at the forefront of revolution of green revolution also. And talking about it, Tesla has been the one of the most uh, companies which is using uh, electric powered vehicles from early of the industry. So Tesla has one of the most advanced manufacturing plants with machine automation and hereby equipments. Its manufacturing processes use more than 160 specialist robots, including 10 of the most largest robots in the world, and many of the unique components like including the battery pack module, battery module, and drive units and manufacturing in house are also prepared by the robots in their own factories like gigafactories, and they're located at USA Palo Alto. The plant has a high level of integration with compared with other modern car.
Bye.
The plant has a high level of integration compared with other modern car assembly plants, with most processing taking place within the Tesla factory. This includes most of the stamping and machine painting and some coding, the hydraulic press lines, and the body panels. They per force of 10,000. So basically, the work which is to done by people, they have used the integration of machine and used as a forefront of change. Due to it, they have been able to cut their manufacturing cost yearly by 20% in 2013, and also increasing the production level throughout the years, and due to which it has given like a competitive edge to them, as they have become now one of the most important companies, as said by Forbes, for as a green revolution, and also in terms of sales they have been doing exceptionally well. The company had started with like 5,000 manufacturing sales in year 2013, and recently in 2019 in fourth quarter they have prepared 1 lakh and 48,091 cars, which is a significantly a huge improvement in their production as well. So due to the automation and due to the integration of their uh, heavy machinery works and approach to their business model, and also to that strategy, also keeping it the strategy keeping it minimum. So this has led to them a kind of innovative approach and also a competitiveness to themselves among the huge car manufacturing industries, like they have given like they have taken an edge over like Ford, General Motors, and Volkswagen. So they have like drastically improved, and they have been the forefront because of the integration of innovation.
Like as we've been talking about competitive advantages, I think it's important to understand what competitive advantage is also. Concepts, the two concepts really influence one another, but they are not the same. I like this talk about competitive advantage is. Competitive advantage is when a business can produce goods or provide services at a lower opportunity cost than their competition. Having a low opportunity cost means having to give up less, making a choice between two things. For example, imagine there are two clothing manufacturers that compete against one another. One business is situated in the US and the other in Bangladesh. A clothing manufacturer in Bangladesh has easy access to cheap labor force and has lower energy costs, meaning that they have the ability to produce clothing at a much lower opportunity cost than the business in the US. In this case, the Bangladesh based business holds competitive advantage over the business situated in the US. Generally speaking, competitive advantage tends to be static and does not need to be maintained. This is especially the case when a business opportunity costs are largely determined by access to certain kind of labor force or natural resources. So
So, as my friend Asim has already told about there is a vast difference between the productiveness and the competitiveness. While competitiveness is almost always incorrect equated with productivity, innovation is usually defined more accurately, although usually too narrowly. So, innovation as only technology in nature, resulting in shiny new product like Apple, iPad, or Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Still, others believe innovation pertained only to the research and development activity occurring at university, national laboratory, and corporation. While this is all true, it is much too limited in scope that the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development properly define innovation more broadly as the implementation of a new or significant improved product, a process and new marketing method or a new organizational method in business practice, workplace, organization, or external relations. So, innovation can arise at many different points in the development process, including conception, research and development, transferring technology or production, and the deployment of marketplace uses. But, however, even when innovation is defined properly and many equate it with competitiveness, this is very wrong. So, for example, we can take an example of which already Asim has told before. Bloomberg includes productivity as one of its seven variables for ranking the 50 most innovative nation. But while innovation is related to productivity and for that matter competitiveness, it is not synonym. There are many innovations that have little to do with productivity or competitiveness. For example, the innovation of the smart electric grid will help boost electric utility productivity, but will do little to boost competitiveness at electric utility service and not typically international trade. Likewise, with the development of new technology to enable better weather prediction would boost quality of life, it would also not directly affect productivity. In contrast, the creation of a new drug, a new kind of airplane, or a faster computer chip would not only enhance trade sector industry competitiveness, it would also improve quality of life of the productivity.
Okay, I'd like to add something on this. As we talked about the definition of innovations, uh, good strategy plus good execution equals to superior performance. So, the companies who successfully execute their strategic experience dramatically benefits, for example, key corporation. So, according to an article from Harvard Business School Press, making strategy execution a core competency will help to achieve dramatic benefits for the shareholder, which will definitely create a competitive advantage. And according to an article in ResearchGate, the application and adaptation of new technology can effectively serve to reduce cost, which will certainly boost competitive advantage. For example, the technological innovation and emerging of digitalization from sales to marketing, everyone and about everybody in the market was trying to capture the online audience, and thus the food and beverage industry was also in that. For example, mm, the retail food delivery in every country is very popular right now. It is a courier service in which a restaurant, store, or independent food delivery company delivers food to a customer. An order is typically made either through a restaurant or grocer's website or phone, or through a food ordering company. The delivered item can include side drinks, desserts, or grocery items, and are typically delivered in boxes or bags. So the adaptation of the digital technological innovation by these companies has helped them to create a competitiveness.
And according to Vincent Tang, one way the industry can sustain this growth momentum is to reconsider how business approach their technological process. How can manufacturers sustain this surge in productivity and keeping increasing their levels of output? The ITM as an integrated approach to develop skill, innovation, and productivity consists of a growth and competitiveness plan to promote technology adoption and innovative business model. This includes strengthening of human capital, boosting innovation, and building state-of-the-art digital infrastructures. This has underscored the importance of technological investment to address productivity issue in manufacturing. With the investment of billions over 5 years dedicated towards robotics, artificial intelligence, and boosting digital skills, the necessary pieces are being put into place to address productivity puzzle. This new approach to facilitating the adoption of transformative technology will enable those who are bullish in embracing innovation to reap its rewards. In fact, a recent study done by the Vincent Tang from Epicor Software found that 28% of Singaporean companies that experienced very high growth in last 12 months believe technology has had a positive impact on their business, and the firm who refuse to update their production system with better technology will stand to lose. Investment in digital transformation among manufacturers will be key to boosting productivity, allowing workers to adapt new process and become more efficient. Increasing connectivity between machine computers and humans can enhance the efficiency levels in manufacturing company. The potential for digital system to improve productivity is vast. For instance, Southco, a manufacturer of fasteners and latches for access to the supply to discover their overall equipment effectiveness levels were running at 52% of far cry from its target rate and significantly short of the world-class standard of 85%.
I'd like to add something on Nirjal's point. From a Palladium Group Incorporation, a survey was held and it was found that 70% of the organizations with a formal strategy execution process reported a superior 70% growth in their performance.
So I'd like to give you example of organizational innovation at McDonald's. And the nodal team instead of rigid hierarchies. Flexible structures and hierarchies are unfamiliar to McDonald's when it comes to developing new ideas. Uh, Everybody in McDonald's are involved as far as possible. Partners who supply the raw material, employees from various areas and hierarchical levels, customers. As a method of organizational innovation, McDonald's has created its own test kitchens and so-called noodle teams in which employees at all levels of the hierarchy develop new ideas and try them out. The hierarchies are flat. Anyone can contact anyone, discuss new ideas with anyone. For former CEO Jim Skinner, this is one of the company's competitive advantages. The result is a wealth of ideas that flow through the organization, which comes in all directions.
So, uh,
So
So
I
I
would
would like
like
to give an example of Amazon, which used AI, which brought ease that helps to analyze the buying power, saves time, and it is all-rounder reliable. So one of the example, Amazon using AI to improve its service in the earliest days. Amazon has used AI to come up with product recommendations based upon the user choices. If you're searching for a example, if you're searching for a Fenty foundations, you can now get almost numerous numbers of shades with just one click. And also the CEO Jeff says that there's a new piece of fashion that comes into the fall session. He explains how in the past it might take long for the algorithms that we used to realize that people who bought these products also bought this new stuffs. And with some of the new techniques we can detect new correlations. Other Amazon AI and machine learning's efforts is the power to Alexa Voice, who give users of Amazon Wave Service access to cloud-based tools, allow shoppers to grab items, walk immediately out of Amazon, go to stores, guide robots carrying slabs full of products directly to fulfill center workers, and much more. So now, as the world is moving insane with huge amount of new technologies giving birth to new other technologies. Now soon human beings can attach robot wings and fly to make their dream come true.
Okay, like
so
just
I would like to
uh,
say that hello.
like
So
I'm gonna add some speak about the adaptation of technology in the service sector. Williams W. Lewis, Andres Chairman, Michael Bailey, and Peter Secretary has also included in the rule that they outdated the ideas about the importance of manufacturing. Economists of all stripes have usually given short shift to the service sector. When they did pay it attention, it was often to conjure up a derisive image of unskilled, low-wage armies of burger keepers and supermarket clerks. This was always wrong. It is now dangerous. The conventional wisdom about service is seriously in error. Manufacturing is and of course will remain generally important to the economic health of industrial nation today. However, in terms of employment, income, international trade, and even production cost, services have become yet more important. This is the inescapable conclusion of a recent study by the McKinsey Global Institute of Service Sector Productivity in the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, France, and the former West Germany. The evidence is compelling. Discussion of international competitiveness based solely or primarily on what goes on in factories fail to reflect the true force of value creating activities.
So I would like to everyone has talked about the positive side of the innovation and the technology. So I would like to talk about some of the negative side, not the negative side, but the as you know that innovation can always not be the competitive advantage for the organization. So according to the John, he have researched on the competitive advantage through product performance innovation in a competitive market, where he has found out that the product innovation cannot necessarily give commercial success to the business. In many industries, companies seek competitive advantage through the productive innovation, but however, that is very wrong. So I don't think that the companies should always have to choose product innovation or the technology to product innovation to increase their profitability or to maximize their profitability. Competition in such market is based on claims of technology superiority. However, unless a company can clearly establish the superiority of its product, until and unless the company can establish their superior product in its customer's mind, a differentiation strategy based on relative product performance is like to be effective. This is particularly true in markets character. It is this is particularly true in markets characterized by numerous product introduction for many customers. So, similarly, product innovation success declines as the intensity of market competition increase. This may be caused by customers' inability to differentiate products on the basis of functional performance. So, John tested this hypothesis by examining an industry in the medical diagnose ultrasound equipment that is characterized by frequent product introduction from numerous companies. So what I would like to say from this point of view is that always we can't rely on the product innovation. So we have to think what the customers want, what is there in the customer's mind, and how can we differentiate that strategy based on the relative product performance. So according to the customers wants and the market demands, so we have to think which of the innovation or the technology is important in organization. So through that we have to make a competitive advantage. So saying that we can't take what we can't allow in our organization, that whatever the other organization is using in their organization, so we can't adopt that thing in our organization. So we have to make our own competitive advantage. Thank you.
Innovation is an important factor in several aspects of business competition. Innovation enables business to present new or improved products to the market before their competitors and thus increase their market share. Several organizations have been successful and thriving because of innovations, which creates a competitive advantage for them. This is stated by Goksio. Innovation is a strategy that companies use to create a competitive advantage, producing things that nobody else can, doing things better than everyone else, or introducing superior, cheaper, and faster services, which was stated by Aziz and Samad in 2016. This strategy enables the organization to create long-term competition by gathering knowledge, skills in the technology, and experience in creativity and development, and introducing new ideas in the form of product innovation, process innovation, or business model innovation. This not only has positive result for the organization but also fosters the growth of entire national economy, which was stated by Ebbing 2010 and Kotem 2001. The competitive advantages can result from goods and services that exhibit outstanding differences from the typical products in the respective domain or that have a lower cost than those of competition. In addition, Porter 1998 stated that components of competitive advantage originate from the ability of a business to maximize the efficiency of its production process, to develop superior quality goods and services, and to develop services to which customer responds with high satisfaction rates.
So I would like to give an example of football, how it created just a competitive advantage, how it just made the football club more than capable of and achieve what nobody think of. So the example is of Leicester City. Uh, Leicester City is a football club which was like just came into the Premier League in year 2015, and in 2016 what they did was unmatchable. In 2015, Leicester City was a football club which has just saved themselves from relegation, and which was on the 15th of the Premier League table. But in 2016, they integrated something to their approach, and what they did was used innovative methods like using data analytics. And how did it reform the people, and how did it made enable to win a Premier League is quite remarkable, because they use data analytics in a form of knowing their players and knowing their strengths and knowing and operating and also tracking their players, which made them able to use a number of sophisticated data and analytical tools coupled with wearable technology to train right, play right, and strategize right. According to Chris Mann, a marketing executive at Prozone Sports, tech supplier to 19 to 20 Premier League teams, Leicester City has been using its products for 10 of the last 11 seasons. It is reported that teams receive the feed from the Prozone 3 tracking data to support and enhance assessment of the player's fitness and conditioning through the range of physical metrics like distance covered, sprints, and the high intensity runs. Data of this kind can be used to tailor players' training regimes to individual needs. One of the most remarkable things about this season, which they won the Premier League after coming from 15th position in the last year. Nobody thought that they would be winning the Premier League, and it is also relatively smaller. They in that season, the team that won the Premier League, they had relatively small number of injuries, which is which goes to huge credit to the tracking data team, which monitored that player and knew when to replace them while they were going to be injured. So also like, so what made them unable to win a Premier League within a year after coming from relegation was a data-driven sports culture. In addition to wearable technology, the club also makes use of the latest in sports science techniques, including cryptography, to accelerate injury recovery programs. However, the club's success isn't down to only the fact that it has managed to keep injury levels low. A culture of data-driven decision making is deeply ingrained into the club's operational approach, with high-tech products from the likes of Opta Pro proving to be game changer. Pre and post match interactive reports, which include subjective comments, statistics, and matching footage, are used to brief players and to identify weakness and their performance. Leicester City also has their own specialist analytics room, which is their unique point, which has not been relatively done by other rivals. And it has been connected to their dressing room to assess data through OptaPro portal at the halftime. They could analyze their team performance and also their rivals' performance. And to exploit that weak point of their rivals, they used to manage their players and tell them how to strategize and go throughout the game. So clearly using the this data driven technology, analytics, and insight made them able to be one of the most game changing and one of the most uh, players of the Premier League in 2016 after winning the Premier League after coming from a relegation. That nobody thought that it would be possible, but due to the innovation and due to the data driven technology, they were able to win the Premier League just after coming from a relegation. So I would like to say that, summarize that, if technology is used properly, not only they will create a competitive advantage, but it can also make you the market leader as well, or just like the Amazon has been doing throughout the years by using AI and using this Alexa and similar on. So AI will also create the market leader itself as well.
Okay, like what Reggie said, to connected innovation and technology to the entertainment sector. I'll again like to link innovation and adaptation of technology in service sector. Improvements in service productivity also have a direct impact on international competitiveness of manufacturing firms. These firms are customers of the service sector and must be concerned about the price and quality of what they buy. We estimate the service sector represents about 23% of the value of sales of the industrial sector of US economy. As a result, a productivity disadvantage of say 20% in service will mean a disadvantage of 4.6% of sales cost, a gap that would sharply reduce or even eliminate the profits available to some manufacturing companies from international trade. And also, I would like to add the importance of boost up of competitiveness advantage and the adaptation of technology in service center. Netflix did not kill Blockbuster. Ridiculous late fees did. Likewise, Uber didn't kill the taxi business. Limited access and fare control did. Apple did not kill the music industry. Being forced to buy full-length albums did. Amazon did not kill other retailers. Poor customer service and experience did. Airbnb is not killing the hotel industry. Limited availability and the pricing option did. Uh, by these examples, we can conclude that adaptation of technology is not only the factor to over the competitive advantage over the competitors. Rather, this will be customer centric and adapt the technology related how related to the satisfaction of customer. So it will have the competitiveness among the competitor.
So I'd like to add on what Nirjal just said on manufacturing sectors. I'd like to talk about the automation industry sectors, how innovation has transformed the automation industry. So one of the innovation that has transformed the auto industry is vehicles as Internet of Things devices. So Internet of Things has provided a great potential for interconnectivity, linking smart vehicles into a network. The wireless connectivity integration not only simplifies communication between vehicles subsystems but serves to link it with external networks as well, and also other vehicles or even traffic control systems. The connected cars and the collected data offers potential for other features such as predictive maintenance, traffic management, and of course the most important, enhanced safety and emergency response capabilities. Also, according to VC 2019, electronic vehicles listings are growing from low initial numbers and their overall market share is still limited. However, the demands for electronic vehicles are growing at a rapid pace. The electronic vehicle market has also doubled from 2017 to 2018, and they have solved many concerns like battery and saving of fuel up to 71%, and also maintenance costs annually. Also, electronic vehicles are nearly 5 times more efficient at converting stored energy than traditional cars.
So I would
So
also
I
like
would like
to
to add on, since my friend Nima has talked about Internet of Things, I would like to talk about technology innovation in automation industry and how it can boost productivity and competitiveness. Organizations strive to remain competitive by adopting technology innovation in their strategy. As per Hendrick and Clark 1990, manufacturing industry such as automation industry is an industry where a dominant design has emerged. Any vehicle's architecture is more or less the same with any other competitive product. Almost all cars have four wheels, they have handle with steering wheels, they have gears, and they could accommodate 4 to 7 people. They are powered by petrol or diesel engines and they are based on rubber wheels. So, as a result, evolution of automotive vehicles is dominated by incremental innovation. One of the car components that subjects to incremental innovation in the last decade is the engine. New engines that are friendly to the environment has been developed, and these can be known as hybrid engines and electric engines. Cars with electric and hybrid engines are commercially available right now. For example, Toyota Prius and Honda Civic Hybrid, which have hybrid engines, and Nissan Leaf, which that has an electric engine powered vehicle motor. So, hybrid and electric cars are an example of technology with growth potential as a demand in rising due to environmental concerns.
So I would like to add some points, whatever my friends are saying. So in addition to companies such as GM and Ford, the challenges of continuous and dynamic change in affecting firms across multiple industries. This include the computer storage industry, in which flash memory invention are radically changing the nature of the competition. The winner and loser resulting from changes in this particular industry remain unknown. Consider the situation being created by SanDisk and the Intel Macron joint venture, both of which are using novel technology capabilities as the foundation for competing in this market or in the industry. Similarly, we can also talk about the Telecommunication Act of 1996, defined the nature of competition in the telecommunication industry and appear to have provide wireless companies. So as we know that before we used to use wireless telephones, but now in this era, the companies have moved on to the wireless. I mean, before people used to use a wire technology, but however they have moved on to the wireless telephone. So providing the wireless companies a long-term competitive advantage over wireline network competition and payphone business. So from the 1996 Act lifted long distance restriction on wireless companies, greatly enhancing the value proposition these firms could choose to offer customers. Although not a complete substitute for wireline service, suggested that the evidence suggested that consumers are at least opting for wireless subscription instead of adding a second or third wireline phone.
So I'd like to give an example of a US trucking company of how it gained competitive advantage over its rival company with the adaptation of technology. When the US trucking industry was deregulated in 1980, top management at Schneider National Industry, a large truckload carrier, recognized that IT support of operations would be critical for maximizing utilization of its tractors and trailers. While only a few trucking companies identified the strategic potential of IT in a deregulated environment, Schneider quickly developed freight modeling software and provided a management interface to the data that enabled the firm to offer more reliable customer service with a lower cost base than the most competitors. The industry became intensely competitive following deregulation, and almost 12,000 trucking firms declared bankrupt in the 1980s, but Schneider, due in large part to its efficiency in asset utilization and high levels of customer service, emerged in the 1990s as one and only $2 billion truckload carriers.
So my friends have talked much about the technology and the innovation. So why don't we talk about the innovative leadership? So we cannot before innovating a technology, people or the human resources are the one of the main important to build our technology. So according to the Abraham Camblin in 2010. He had researched in the importance of innovative leadership in cultivating strategic fit and enhancing firm performance. So as we know that the world is becoming very competitive in the market because of the because of the globalization. So it is very crucial for the organization to make a adaptive organization system. So in the organization, the I think the innovative leadership has to change the organization culture. So saying that the role of a strategic fit is to enhance firm performance, innovative leadership that provide a work environment climate where initiative are encouraged and the individual responsibilities and performance are evaluated, and given the feedback are explicit and clear, and a strong sense of task oriented is maintained, and group relationship and the trust among member are also emphasized. So because implementing the a great innovative leadership in the organization can help organization to boost their competitive advantage, where the innovative leadership mainly focus on the employers where they encourage them, and they take the individual responsibility, and they take note about their performance and evaluate them and give feedback to them as well, and give a clear information and a strong sense of task oriented, and they also maintain the group relationship and they build a trust among the membership. So this is how the innovative leadership can emphasize the competitive advantage in the organization.
Okay, like I'd like to talk about the boosting productivity and competitiveness in the service sector through the adaptation of technology. I'd like to talk about the mobile banking. Financial sectors are structured to gain the market share and profit. Today's markets bear witness to massive shift from traditional banking to online and branchless mode of banking. The increasing adaptation of advanced technology by banks enables them to expand their markets. One such advanced technology expanding the banking horizon is electronic banking, which allows for a customer access to bank through wireless channel. According to Shrestha 2018, mobile banking provides services like balance inquiry, credit transfer, and sharing other business information. Information is sent through the mobile phone. Through mobile banking, customer can conveniently perform their banking transaction anytime and anywhere quite easily. Uh, Mobile banking is safe and secure because the banking transactions are encrypted and password protected. Mobile banking provides the platform where customers interact with a bank through a mobile device or personal digital assistance, according to the Barnes and Corbett 2003. Mobile banking is a part of banking that provides customer access to a range of banking services like saving and credit information, and customer can do payments or transfer money through electronic channels. Based on the rapid change in banking industry and high competition between banking and financial institutions, the concept of customer satisfaction has become more important in the case of competitiveness. However, mobile banking is rapidly changing the way personal financial services are being designed and delivered. Now the banks are trying to introduce mobile banking system to improve their operation and to reduce cost. Therefore, there is a need to understand factors that influence customer satisfaction in mobile banking. And also, we can talk about the present current scenario of quarantine, that coronavirus has locked down all the human beings, and it has been crucial that mobile banking is able to do all the payment transaction through online without going anywhere to their internet fee or television subscription or anything. Okay, someone will like to talk about mobile banking.
I would like to I would like to add on the banking sector. Harrell and Jeff, 1995, contended that firms adopt new technologies to fend off new competitors and reinforce an existing competitive advantage. Loudon, 1996, indicated that information and communication technologies also plays a major role in supporting strategic objectives of an organization. This information technology has become one of the most dominating strategic tools to create and leverage on a competitive advantage within the service sector, that is the banking fraternity. As Clark 1997 posits that the ICT, for example, in banking sector, has enabled banks to remove the physical barriers between banks and customers. The traditional banking required customers to visit branches. This particular information and communication technology has enabled customers to enjoy financial services from the comfort of their homes through mobile banking and mobile banking and ATM machines. This internet banking does have improved customer relations and service delivery to the customer.
So, similarly, we have talked about innovation in manufacturing industry, service industry, also in sports, and also in entertainment. So I would like to also add up some more information to how information and technology and how innovation has driven the innovations, the public sector as well. So talking about the country of giving the example of uh, Netherlands specifically. Netherlands has been the most first and foremost country to use e collaborative governance system, which is like creating uh, a citizen centric portal where people can get all of their government information through internet and through participation on online communities. So it also creates a national support and international recognition for the people as well. So by e-government has contributed to public sector reform by digitizing and simplifying procedures for a mainly passive customer. However, Web 2.0 assumes an active citizen who want to be engaged in increasing government performance. In order to cope up with these expectations, we need a new paradigm. And so, the e-government system of the Netherlands has been doing that by introducing e-governments. They have been connecting with people and sharing information in easier way, and they can also share their workflow and process to their people in a short period of time, and change their procedural change and keep them updated with their this approach of e-governments.
Okay, so uh, as my friends have given various examples which have already been in the global market, I'd like to give an example which is about to happen in coming years. So, according to the information from biometricupdate.com, globalresearch.com, and id2020.organization.com, the ID 2020 Alliance has launched a new digital identity program at its annual summit in New York. In collaboration with the government of Bangladesh, Vaccine Alliance called Gavi, and new partners in government, academia, and humanitarian relief. So, the collaboration between Microsoft and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, is doing this program where Microsoft is making micro radio frequency identification chip, which will be kept in vaccines by the vaccine companies like the Gavi. So basically, the microchip goes into our body through vaccines, which will create digital identity. According to Microsoft, digital ID is a computerized record of who a person is, stored in a registry. It is used in this case to keep track of who has received vaccination or not. But obviously, the chip is not limited to that. So we can see the technological innovation and adaptation in pharmaceutical companies also. This will create huge competitive advantage to these vaccine companies than other typically run pharmaceutical companies. But as earlier, Alsa also stated the possible disadvantages of technological innovation and adaptation. We cannot ignore the fact that technological innovations and adaptation can also create disadvantages in long term and can impact global citizens in a very unethical manner.
So I would like to talk about this cross-industry innovation. According to Gassman, 2004, he found out that a particular type of partner, like firms operating in other industries, can also provide a valuable contribution. Such external source is amended by adopting the cross-industry innovation. It is achieved through the combination of potential of companies operating in different industries. This combining the different potential of young and mature firms and the possibility of introducing innovative products using new or disruptive technologies can occur. So in 2004, Gassman 2004 conducted a study of the top automotive companies and found that a certain project companies combine complementary potentials of young and small with large and mature firms of different industries. This collaboration allowed to realize a radical product innovation in a deeply reduced time to market. For example, a relevant example of this opportunity is iDrive, which has been developed and commercialized by BMW. Herald 2001 depicts that iDrive as an innovative control device allows drivers to access many different functions of their cars in an interactive way or with a single hand and using a computer like screen, which is also known as the control display. So, basically, this iDrive is aimed at simplifying and improving the interaction between the driver and the car.
So I would like to talk about the. So according to Concoro, so he have also researched on the achieving sustainable competitive advantage through product innovation and market drive. So he has researched on the in the population. He has studied in the rabbit meat merchant with a total of 110 people in the Magelang place, in the district of the Magelang. So where he have researched about the relationship between the product innovation and the market driving, he found out that he found out that wait a minute. He just found out that nobody was planning to eat the rabbit meat, but however they came with a product innovation and found out that because of the rabbit meat there was a high advantage to the women. So, but not only for the women but also for the people who were suffering for the asthma. So those people who are suffering from the asthma and the respiratory system, those if those people eat the rabbit meat, then it would be advantage for them, so they would recover very quickly. So this was one of the product innovation which Navalink community came up with in their company. Thank you.
So, as we all have
I'd
been
like
talking about, more one else are there. As we all have been talking about the advantages of adaptation of technologies in organization, I'd like to talk about the increase in security in business, some of the disadvantages. Technology also comes with increased security risk like hacking, information theft by employees with security clearances, and a lot more. In fact, employees with financial and personal data about customer clients can at times be a threat to the company since they can easily use that information to manipulate the company clients. On top of that, companies that use online systems like banks actually find a hard time making transactions online due to the high risk of hackers who tend to eavesdrop important information or even tap into the bank account of clients. However, there are now many companies and softwares that have been developed to protect online systems. So, thank you.
So
So,
uh, I'd like to add on to what Regis had said before about uh, how innovation has transformed like the sports industry, specifically football. So I'd like to talk about portable sensors. Portable sensors is considered as one of the innovation that has transformed the sports industry. There are various kinds of new technology in sports industry, and one of them is portable sensors, where these sensors are used for various activities like checking the heart rates, power meters of the of the athletes. And similarly, the use of GPS sensors can also be seen, where rugby, football, soccer coaches see exactly where the players are at any point during a match, and then look at their movements and see how these can be changed to improve the athletes.
I'd like to add on. Um, yes, I agree with what my friend just had given an example. Technology advancement and innovation have had a profound impact on sports. Like technology system such as DR, decision referral system, or Hawkeye or Hotspot. There are a few examples of technology advancement that has helped administrators deliver a fair and unbiased experience in the sports. And another example which technology and innovation has boost competitiveness in the sports field is the internet, the high-speed cable, and the HCTV apps, blogs, and social media platforms. They have also brought sports deep into our everyday lives, ensuring deeper engagement and a wider connect between the sports and its fans.
Okay, I'd like to talk about use of technology in sports. Like we all know about the goal line technology. According to FIFA, goal line technology is the use of electronic aid to determine if a goal has been scored or not. In detail, it is a method used to determine when the ball has completely crossed the goal line in between the goalpost and underneath the crossbar with the assistance of electronic device, and at the same time assisting the referee in awarding a goal or not. Before goal line technology, there were many disputes among the fans and the players and the referees. However, the goal line technology has helped to award the goal which has been and disqualified the goal which has not crossed the line. However, there are some criticism about the goal line technology that it suggests that human element is lost, while advocates for goal line technology maintain that it will significantly reduce refereeing errors during play. There are also criticism of the technology. Much criticism came from within the FIFA itself, including former FIFA president Sepp Blatter. According to the audience, goal line technology has disturbed the flow of the game. Uh, a study suggested that in the 2010 and 2011 Premier League season, error took place nearly 30% of the time that video replays could help prevent, but some people claim that instant replays would interrupt the flow of the game and take away possible play. And other criticism is the cost. In April 2010, MLS Commissioner Don Garber confirmed that MLS would not adopt goal line technology for the 2014 season, citing cost as the overriding factor. Goal Control International installation will cost about 200 $2,600,000 per stadium and further $3,900 for each game. In early 2014, the vast majority of teams in the two divisions of the German Bundesliga voted against introducing goal line technology for financial reasons. The cost per club would have ranged from 2,500,000 euro for a chip inside the ball up to $500,000 for a Hawkeye or goal control.
Okay, so on that note, as we are talking about innovation and adaptation to push competitiveness advantage, policies also plays a big role in the adoption or implementation. So, according to OECD.com and Harvard Business Review, innovation policy and performance, which is done across country comparison. In advanced industrial countries, science, technology, and innovation have been the principal source of long run economic growth and increasing social well being. In the future, the innovation performance of a country is likely to be even more crucial to its future economic and social development. Innovation policy plays an important role in influencing innovation performance, but must be closely tailored to specific needs, capabilities, and institutional structure of each country. This June 2005 publication examines the relationship between innovation policies and performance of six OECD countries: Austria, Finland, Japan, and Netherlands, Sweden, and the UK. Using a common framework based on the National Innovation System approach, the book highlights countries' strengths and weaknesses in innovation, as well as the effectiveness of their innovation policies in driving the economic performance. Taken together, the country studies constitutes a rich evidence base which will be a considerable interest to innovation policy makers in all OECD countries. They indicate that countries share a need to adapt or even profoundly change their innovation policies in order to deal with opportunities and threats posed by a new technological and economical developments. A synthesis chapter reviews the main findings of the studies and derives key policies conclusion.
Okay, now in the light of productivity, competitiveness, and adaptation of technology in the public sector, I like to portray the view of the article of innovation in public sector by the United Nations, New York and Geneva 2017. The public sector plays a very significant role in modern economic. As in the business sector, innovation can be a major source of productivity growth, cost saving, and improvements in service quality benefits, which then also positively affect business and citizens who rely on an efficient and effective public sector. The ability of public sector to innovate is therefore increasingly seen as a critical element of economy-wide innovation performance. However, innovation policies and strategies relating to the public sector are far less developed than those targeting the business sector. There are important differences between public and the private sector in terms of incentives and motivation, resource allocation, and attitudes toward risks, which are inherent in the different roles played by the two sectors in the economy and which have a profound impact on how innovation is carried out and how policy can support. The collection of contribution in the publication address a wide range issue related to the promotion of innovation in public sector as well as policy lessons learned. And now, anyone would like to talk about the innovation in public sector? Hello. Okay, I would like to explain the innovation process in the public sector. At first, there is the innate entrepreneurial characteristics, then the creation of social network, then the search for desired innovation, and if the search for the desired innovation is not completed, then they again go to the creation of another social network and they again search for the desired innovation, and this process will be repeated until the search for desired innovation is succeeded. Then it will go in the market and it will be success or failure, which was proposed by Leden and Link in 2014. Now, talking about how public sector innovation is different, despite common belief that the public sector is not amen- amenable to innovation, recent research by Shani Vaishyan Christian in 2013 and Leden and Link in 2015 finds that in fact innovation is taking place in the public sector in a variety of ways, and that it is tied to a public sector version of the entrepreneurial activity that is so important to innovation and economic growth in the private sector. In a comprehensive review of public sector entrepreneurship literatures in a variety academic disciplines, economics, management, political science, and public administration, Layden and Link concluded that the essential character of public sector entrepreneurship is the same as the private sector counterpart. Likewise, we have lacked in the private and public sector because if we take the example of Worldlink, the biggest internet service provider, they introduced the fiber optic way ahead from the Nepal Telecom Authority, which is a governmental uh, internet providing service. Can anyone would like to say something about that?
I would like to talk about innovation and technology in the entertainment industry. Technology and innovation has definitely impacted the world of entertainment massively since the last decade. The pace of change has been so rapid that the entertainment landscape now looks completely different from even 10 years ago. So, examples of technology and innovation that has changed the entertainment industry is like in the music. Content creators have become major players in innovation in the music industry. For example, Imogen Heap is a British musician who makes her money available, who makes her music available online through a blockchain system. A blockchain system is a technology where it allows users to monitor all transaction associated with their music and automatically pay the various right holders.
So, likewise, I'd like to talk about innovation in education. Innovation in education encourages teachers and students to explore, research, and use all the tools to uncover something new. It involves a different way of looking at problems and solving them. Innovation improves education because it compels students to use a higher level of thinking to solve any problems. So, I'd like to add something about strategic execution gap from a book named Five Ways the Best Companies Close the Strategic Execution Gap by Michael Mankins. Uh, the 5 steps to closing the gap strategic execution gap are as follows. Commit to an identity rather than just focusing on growth. Translate the strategic into the everyday work. putting the culture into work, reducing cost to grow strongly, and shaping the future.
I'd like to add on what Jessina had said before on the music industry. I also have an example, which is multi-track recording. So, according to the O2 2016, sorry, previously musicians and sound engineers had to record a track as a whole in just one take, but multi-track has enabled people and artists to record separate parts of a song and then piece them together. It is also allowed for individual tracks to be made in a specific section of a song while adding many layers to a single instrument, that is vocal harmonies by the same singer recorded separately and layered together. And just like that, the recording industry is never the same again. Thank you.
So I would like to say that Netflix is now scaling streamlining videos fast, maintaining the lead it worked so hard to build over competitors. Numerous companies have, however, won early battles and lost the war at this stage of innovation. Magical innovations are successfully developed but never find a home because, unlike Netflix, the company isn't willing to attack its core business. One of the most dramatic example is Kodak, which invented the sensor at the heart of digital photography in the mid 1980s, but for decades never found the way to leverize it. It's worth noting that Netflix is still very much in a work in progress. Newspapers are reporting that the company is in talks to buy the rights to a television program which could put in direct competitions with networks and perhaps accelerate the trend towards what is known as cord cutting, ending a monthly subscription to cable televisions or satellite television services that bring streaming content directly from the internet, Netflix, or other service.
So we talked about the implication of innovation in entertainment industry as example of Netflix and also through the sister city. So I think we should also know much more about the service industry, how it revolutionized the Amazon as well. Amazon is regarded as the one of the most prominent industry of this global era. It has been doing so well and keeping up with its competitors that it has created a threat of entry barrier to itself as well by using means of technology and technology channels. Throughout these years, Amazon has been providing low prices products with low prices and personalization to up their products and recommendation capabilities by enabling software enabled logistics and infrastructure which poses a formidable challenge to traditional which has already challenged a formidable to traditional frames. The core of Amazon policy has been using AI. With the implication of AI and technology, they have been recommending products to their customers. For example, if I'm likely to purchase the next product, they will be showing me recommendations through my current and previous purchasing patterns. Also, talking not just about purchasing and advertisements, what they have been doing, I would like to also add about what they have been doing in terms of voice recognition as well. They have been using Alexa. Alexa is one of the most prominent. They have been using Alexa for their Amazon devices, Amazon Echo devices. So what Alexa does is it simplifies your things. It organizes your works and it also listens to your voice commands. For example, talking about home automation, what Amazon Alexa's does is it listens to your voice command and it enables your function of your house. For example, it can turn on and off your lights and switch off your garage's lights or anything like close your door or open your curtains and simply like that. So what these have been doing is process innovation. In terms of process innovation is that in service industry they have been making our life easier through implementation of their software integration with IoT, information of things. So through the example of Amazon, we can know that they have been simplifying our lives, and also they have created a threat of entry barrier to themselves, which with the help of this technology, which is hard to replicate by the other people and other competitors as well. So we can know that the Amazon is the most forefront of example for the service innovation.
So we all
Okay.
have been talking about competitive advantages. Earlier, I explained what competitive advantage is. So I'd like to ask my friends, which one is better? What do you think, competitive or competitive advantage?
So, inspired by Reggie's thought, I would like to say that the film industry is a constant search for innovative and groundbreaking technologies with the aim to dazzle audiences and make the process of filmmaking more manageable. When digital cameras hit the scene, it wasn't because they were inherently better at capturing the motions. Some would argue digital still doesn't hold a candle to frame, but because it made movies cheaper to make, easier to edit, and more convenient to reproduce, this industry depends upon technology to keep vital and keep budgets in check.
So I like to talk about my question, which one is better, competitive or competitive advantage? I'd like to answer my own question. Having competitive advantage can be one element that contributes to a company's competitive advantage. However, holding competitive advantage doesn't always guarantee competitive advantage. Goods or services may be provided at a low opportunity cost but may not be positioned properly within their market or may not have the quality that market demands. I think neither kind of advantage is better than the other. A business that has both competitive advantage and competitive advantage is more likely to be successful.
I like to like to talk about the use of technology in the entertainment field. Like we know, Avengers Endgame is the highest lifetime grossing movie, and of course, it is a fantastic movie. But underneath the spectacle, the film echoes the dramatic rise of powerful technology in the world and the responsibilities that come with them. In recent weeks, for instance, scientists have kick-started brain cell in the served heads of dead pigs, spliced human genes related to intelligence into monkey, and 3D printed a heart from human cells. These and other capabilities are child's play compared to those in Endgame. Yet they are a reminder of how fast modern day technologies are advancing, and they highlight the growing tension between what is possible and how we ensure our technological reach does not exceed our collective grasp. This isn't a new problem. The first atomic bomb tests in 1945 were a stark reminder of this tension, along with Oppenheimer's chilling invocation of Bhagavad Gita. Now I am become death, the destroyer of old. It's no coincidence that so many comic book superheroes are the byproducts of atomic which or the Thanos power directly reflects to Oppenheimer's nightmares. So we can connect the technology used in movies and the technologies in our real life.
So I think summarizing
Talking
most of
about
my uh, okay, so summarizing most of my friends' views, like Nigel has gave example of entertainment and
Regis,
Sim also.
before summarizing, I'd like to add one more example on entertainment industry. So Spotify is a Swedish company that streams music videos and podcasts through licensing with record labels and media companies. It also offers its own exclusive contents. Spotify, which is available in America, Western Europe, part of Asia, and Australia and its surrounding island, was founded in 2006 by senior CEO Daniel Ike and Martin Lorenzo. The company is, while other platforms sells music in very high and premium price, uh, the company is known for helping to legitimize the freemium model, the tiered pricing strategy whereby basic services like music streaming are provided free of charge with advertising in Spotify's case, but premium services like ad-free listening and direct downloads cost user extra. So Regis, you can proceed.
So thank you, Vijay. So at
I
summarizing
have
my
also
points,
something regarding about the film industry, by the way. So let's not summarize it right now.
no, I'm not summarizing. I'm
So I have
actually
to.
giving a view about. Wait, let me finish. Okay.
Okay, okay. I thought you
So
were going to conclude
so no,
the
I'm
session,
just
so let's
summarizing
start.
my friend's views. So summarizing my friend's views, and as according to Nirjal, and he gave example of how CGI relating to Thanos and Avengers, and also summarizing Simran's view, what she said in previously that about Kodak. It is also importantly, it is important for in this generation to realize how important the innovation has become to implement in companies' business strategy. For example, I would like to give an example of Nokia as well. If Nokia had earlierly adopted to the new in changing technology of adding Android to their iOS system, OS system, it would have been the Nokia would have been still surviving and thriving in this market. So also we should understand that the technology will be rapidly changing, and the information technology has driven us to the age we are right now. So the time will also be changing that each and every businesses should be integrating itself with innovation, particularly talking specifically about information technology. For example, we have been using AI now previously in tech companies. Sooner or later it will be coming to more over to like agricultural companies as well, if you look the trend towards future. So what innovation does is it also like gives us the product innovation, service innovation, business model innovation, which is all giving us the pricing at forefront, reducing the prices and giving us better services. And so if the companies which will not be using innovation, and it will be sooner or later it will be soon going to die or similar like that. So Elisa, you
So,
can speak up. Thank you.
mm, sorry for the misunderstanding. I thought you were going to conclude. So anyway, so talking about the innovation, which also helps in generating growth in the polythianal film industry. So in the Europe, the plastic industry consultant AMI has just published the 10th edition of its directory of polythianal film extruders in Europe. The new edition lists 100 new production sites, a sign that the industry is finally recovering from the impact of the global financial crisis of 2008. The recession of 2008 and 2009 saw polythianol film production drop by 10%, and although output is still some half a million tons below the achieved at the peak of the market in 2007, demand for film has continued to make a slow, steady recovery since then. Film exteriors have been steadily increasing their use of linear and Metallurgian resins to adapt to consumer demand, which helps to explain the good growth rates in stretch and shrink film production. Shrink and stretch film used to protect goods in transit, it's accounted for 1 million tons of polyethylene film production in 2013. AMI this directory shows the importance of this sector, which 52% of plants involved in the production of stretch or shrink film for collation or plate wrapping. This trend is reflected across Europe, with Germany taking the lead, with 61% of film extrusion sites are producing shrink and stretch film. Thank you.
Are we done? If somebody can conclude.
Before concluding, I'd like to give an example in a local scenario. Talking about innovation in business, we can see in our local market here in Nepal, there are already various innovative platforms like Foodmandu, Food Mario, and Pothao. So, technological innovation in platform can not only create competitive advantage, new competitive advantage, but also create a kind of competition between already existing companies. So, while concluding, I'd like to say that as we talked about the application and adaptation of innovation, which will help to boost competitive advantage in any business. Uh, I think the implementation and adaptation process is very important, which I'd like to again relate with Michael Mankins, that we should commit to an identity rather than just focusing on growth. We should translate the strategic into everyday work, putting the culture into everyday work, etc. Thank you.
Anybody has to say something, or stop?
I would like to conclude. So, in a nutshell, today's competitive business world, the roots of a business are derived from technology and innovation. So, the success of a business will be dependent or driven by these two prominent factors. Since technology is a strong and important variable that is usually embedded in an organization process, so the level of technology requirement should also adapt and match the current demands of the society and to the strategy of the firm, uh, which is implementing to ensure competitiveness and better productivity in an organization. So, to conclude, when organizations are able to implement and execute their strategy in an effective manner, these two prominent factors, innovation and adaptation in technology changes, can bring about what every business organization seeks, that is, a sustainable competitive advantage which can add real value.
So, in conclusion, I'd also like to say something. It is very evident how technology and innovation has built its root in different sectors of our life, be it business sectors or health or entertainment. We can see the omnipresence of technologies and innovations, and we can't ignore the fact that technology and innovation is responsible for the competitiveness to an organization. And I think that it is important that an organization actively integrates and develops more technologies to improve their market positioning. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if there is, everybody has completed, shall I start?
Okay,
Start the
sir.
summary.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
so
So
it was
I would like
it
to
was Uh-huh.
I would like to say that not just shouldn't
Yes,
only
yes,
believe.
Simran.
So I don't know. I feel like that innovation shouldn't only care about boosting competitiveness and making profit to the country, to its people, but also they should care about some healthcare facilities. Like every year people are dying, every minute people are dying, and I think this technology should even utilize not just for profit making companies, not just making not just providing comfort to people's life, but also saving lives of people. A country like Nepal and developing world should also adopt these strategies to how a person can save their life. Like right now, we are suffering from this emerging disease from China, coronavirus. I think in the upcoming future, people will still there will still be lots of problems. So I think innovation should also apply uh, some measures to actually care for people and the world. Like they should innovate some things for to save the life of people.
I'd like
Okay.
to add something on Simran's point. That is a very
Uh,
dark truth
Yes. Okay.
about the recent scenario. Uh, since there is a huge technological development and innovation in a global manner, but still we cannot see any significant impact of that innovation and technology in the health sector, which is very sad. So I guess youths like us should strive more towards it. Thank you.
Yes, I support the view of Simran and also BJ, that more and more over the technology which have been improving throughout the years and the innovation we have been creating has been more concentrated on towards making a monetary goal and fulfilling their values of making money. But I think business should also contribute on spending money on more on like creating something that gives value to people as well, not in getting return of something but also giving more to society. For
yeah,
example
totally.
we have been we also have like 3D printers which can print hearts and organs, but it has been doing at the cost of huge cost. So innovation along with providing a better service is also important.
So
Yes.
inspired
So
by
I would like
Regis'
to.
thought, I would like to Odisha, you can speak.
No, it's okay. Just saying that whatever my friend Regis have said is very true. That rather than just saying competitive advantage, so we can say the sustainable competitive advantage that we should adopt in the organization, so that we can help not only the company, but we can help both the society, because we are taking so much from the society or from the natural resources. So I think we have to give and take. So it's a give and take, as a in everything. So we have to give back to the society as well. So rather than just saying the competitive advantage, I think in my point of view we have to say that, so we have to adjust the sustainable competitive advantage in the organization. Thank you.
So I would like to say that now we can let's all of us work for uh, humanity before making profit to the country. Mm, let's 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 actually choose humanity before profit, and work for let's work for our people so that nobody suffers, and also at the same time let's utilize a good use of technology through bringing humanity back. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree in Simon's point of view. So that we should not be so selfish. So we should not only think about ourselves or the for the organization. We have to give back to the society as well. So from the innovation and technology, we have to provide such a thing that which can also uh, give back to the society.
For example, in this time, for example, we have been suffering with the crisis of coronavirus. We can say that business uses technology for for the betterment of themselves and also for their profit making. But what we can do is business can also use their technology. For example, recently there is a news of F1 F1 racing. They have been donating their like breathable masks and their to people for corona patients, actually, which is an example of like helping people, also using giving their technology and sharing that technology to others. So it is importantly it is so important to also give and share that technology with others as well, and also making profit at the same time, I guess.
So okay, so summing up, I think this was a very good discussion. We talked about innovation and adaptation. We talk about what the portal has said. Okay, so and innovation technology. What is the disruptive technology? And very good examples of Tesla, Amazon, and we have talking about the trucking companies, portable sensors, Hawkeye hotspot in the sports, and also the competitive advantage, organizational innovation, data-driven sports culture. So more or less, what we were supposed to do, that we were supposed to discuss on the manufacturing sector, mm, the service sector, public sector, sports and entertainment sector. We have done it, and also you have done additional thing, like you have talked about the innovation in education, health sector. Okay, so it was a very good presentation, sorry, debate, and also most of you have participated well. I think there is not such a difference, big difference like it used to be. So congratulations everyone, because you have participated very well. Yes, you people have supported your friends, given some excellent examples. Okay, some of you please let the others speak as well. If when they are speaking, don't interrupt. Try to allow others to complete their statements as well. And a small hint of thing is that you please make it as a debate, not like a presentation. Some of you were taking it as rather than a presentation, mini presentation. Don't do that. And there were excellent sources presented today, quite remarkable. But in one or two places there were non-academic sources used as well, so do not use that. And certain personal things like Alicia, you have been blocked. So I think in the group, so that when you are talking, it is not shown here. So, and also some of your friends, Nirjal, please put your own name rather than this is the formal group. So put your own name rather than giving such I don't know what type of name is there. And also, rather than putting photos of Rajesh and sorry, Asim, if you not have uh, put the photo, we could have seen your initials, and the moderation could have been more easier. So I would rather ask Nirjal to change the name to proper name, your own name. And also since it's a formal group, if you do not use photograph, rather if there are your initials are seen, then it will be very easy for the moderation as well, because I know you, I can understand who is speaking, but for the moderator it can be difficult as well. So
So,
do you
what were you saying, sir? मैले बुझेन के अरे, is there any problem with my microphone
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
can't hear?
not with the microphone, but you have been blocked from that group. So when you are speaking, it's not shown that you are speaking. That is the thing. Not other than thing. Yes, it is all being recorded, but you are not in the speaker's view, because I think you have been blocked by someone. It's not me, but I don't
I
know.
think
Okay,
I think
there is
some
one
that
point.
is not. I haven't done that, but I think somebody have done that
Mhm,
maybe.
mhm, mhm. Okay, so that is the thing. Uh, so other things, it was a very good discussion if we compared with the other discussion we had. So we are improving. I am expecting more from you in the next debate. So we will call it a day for today. Thank you for everyone. Do you have something to say or?
Thank
No,
you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you,
Stay safe.
sir.
Namaste, namaste.
Thank you, sir.
To